Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back for another Total War video with the Terminator. In this video, I want to showcase a mod that's been out for a few years now for Attila Total War that not only spices up campaign gameplay, but really challenges the player like no other mod ever has. And honestly, it could be one of my favorite Total War mods right now. Developed by DetTrooper, The Long Night is an Attila mod that essentially changes the grand campaign into an alternate history of the world, where an Ice Age started 100 years ago, populations are dwindling, food production is an all-time low, and the mod provides a host of new playable factions, new gameplay mechanics and units, and more for a brilliantly unique Total War experience that I cannot recommend enough. It's currently got over 6,000 subscribers on the Steam Workshop, so it's already enjoyed by many players out there, but I'd say for what it does, it's still an underrated mod. So in this video, I'll be reviewing all the fantastic features that come with The Long Night, and why you absolutely need to give it a try. Let's get started. The Long Night comes with one playable campaign and 9 different unique factions. We have settled kingdoms following the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, so factions like the Ostrogoths, the Franks, and the Lombards. We've got a British faction in the north that manages to survive the harsh winter. 2 Eastern factions with the Sassanids and the Caliphate, the Avars, which is a settled horde faction in the Balkans, and finally 2 Roman factions, which are the Exarchate of Africa, and of course the Eastern Roman Empire. All these factions have unique starting positions, unique diplomatic circumstances, army and mercenary rosters, as well as gameplay mechanics. The Roman Empire, for example, can call on elite Varangian Guard units that are slightly bordering on the fantasy side of how powerful units can get. While that may not be your cup of tea, it does add a very engaging element to a mod that is beyond brutal and difficulty. The Romans in particular are so difficult in this mod that they have their own difficulty rating, Twisted. And there's one main reason why it's so challenging. It's in the middle of an ice age. What that means is when you load up a campaign with the Romans, for example, you're met with a message telling you that an ice age started roughly 100 years before, leading to lower populations, lower food production, and of course a perpetual winter for most of the world. The message ends with, "This mod is not easy, this mod is not fair, pray for you and your faction for the long night sets in." And that really says it all. This is a Total War experience unlike any other. In my few campaigns with the Roman Empire and with the Franks, I have to say I've never lost so many battles and territories so quickly. As the Romans, you start at war with the Anatolian Goths and the Balkan Ostrogoths. You have to fight low public order, low food production, multiple armies sacking your cities, and worst of all, constant winter attrition. Wherever you move your troops, they will always suffer attrition, which is just insane. But it's also really good. It's this kind of challenging situational gameplay that Total War usually completely misses the mark on. It's why, in my opinion, Attila has really good vanilla gameplay from a campaign perspective, because it's survival Total War at its best. But The Long Night definitely kicks this up a notch. Food producing buildings and farms have far lower production values, and even though you have a decent income at the start of your campaigns, it won't last very long because you have to start building armies as soon as you can. The population takes public order penalties for regions that aren't producing enough food, and population growth is very slow, meaning manpower for your armies is a valuable commodity. For me, this mod is like the Frostpunk of Total War. It forces you to really think strategically about what you need to prioritize first. But not only does The Long Night provide great situational gameplay, it also mixes things up with fantastic scripted events. As the Roman Empire, for example, you get your first event message a few years in, telling you the Sassanid Empire is growing powerful and is beginning to invade the smaller kingdom of Armenia. The Armenians ask for help against them and in return will become your vassal, but the Sassanids have a very strong army and lots of land. They will be difficult to bring down. It's up to you, of course, to choose whether to get involved or not. Events like these have been scripted for all the playable factions that do a really good job of enhancing the immersion of campaign gameplay. You obviously don't have to do these scripted events if you want more of a sandbox type experience, but they are there for more direction and interesting narrative, which I personally really enjoy. All of the scripted events you can get yourself into, including a continent-wide plague, by the way, all lead up to a final event in the year 666 AD. And you guessed it, in the year 666 AD, a demonic horde led by Satan himself spawns in the harshest winter lands on the northeastern side of the map to invade and destroy the remaining factions of civilization. Most Total War campaigns can get quite boring quite quickly, but I have honestly never been so immersed and engaged with my faction's survival before. Next to the plague outbreaks, the invading Sassanids, the harsh winter, and the satanic cultists of the north, I am using all the energy I have to try and survive this campaign, and it is just so much fun. Lots of other changes have been made that's worth talking about as well, from the brilliant immersive UI to the option to specialize minor settlements to the unique buildings like the Hippodrome in Constantinople. Everything in this mod is catered to a very unique and immersive campaign experience, and it's honestly really impressive. Finally, of course, we have the battles. Aside from the beautiful snowy landscape that I can actually get used to, we've got hundreds of new units across all the factions that are unique in visual appeal, as well as in providing special roles in your armies. So there's plenty to appreciate and enjoy here. There's been a fair bit of rebalancing across the board as well to make battles enjoyable and not too quick, and I highly recommend you slow things down to take a look at some of the beautiful elite units that are just so well done. Units overall have seen work to bring out the flavor of the mod, to bring out more unique feel for your battles, and visually to make them more diverse individual to individual, especially as you start getting up to the higher tiered units and you start fighting the demonic hordes. There's a real sense of immersion here not a lot of other mods with this kind of setting get right. I am by no means an expert, but from my experience, what I see here is brilliant battle gameplay that, alongside the very unique campaign, makes for a mod that is definitely fun to play, which is why I thought it was worth reviewing here today. Overall, if you're looking for more challenge in a Total War campaign that comes with unique factions and units, unique gameplay mechanics and narrative-driven storylines, The Long Night is absolutely the mod for you. In a sea of historically accurate conversion mods or total overhaul mods, it's a breath of fresh air that I promise you won't get bored with anytime soon. I've added a link to the mod in the video description below, so be sure to get in there, download it, and start a campaign ASAP. I promise you will not regret it. Everything about The Long Night screams challenge, immersion, and very enjoyable gameplay, and I have to say, for the last few weeks, I have really been enjoying my campaigns, and I think that you will too. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you did, give it a like and drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Subscribe for more Total War content, gameplay, and news, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.